If this scene looks all too familiar, it's because it is. Last time I waited 30 minutes in the rain by my mailbox waiting for a package only to find that the mailman had delivered it to my porch, so I'm not letting that happen this time. After waiting an eternity,
3.5 minutes to be exact,
it was freaking in the mailbox the entire time. My mailman's a ghost. Don't judge me on leaving the rest of the mail in there. I hate regular mail. It's a Sigonium albo, but look at the variegation. And it's always nice to see new growth coming in. But this is the plant that we're all here for today. Variegated Alocasia dragon scale tissue culture. But I'm not quite prepared just yet to deal with it right now, so for now it's just going to go into the greenhouse. It's unfurling a new leaf. It's time to transplant this. Alright, so let's talk about tissue culture plants! It's so pretty! But it can't live in this bag forever. My phone dropped. So what are tissue culture plants? These are plants that have completely been regenerated in a lab. So this is not propagated from a mother plant. It was essentially regenerated from some cells. Pretty crazy, but this is how a lot of expensive plants these days are made so much more affordable and available to the general public because they're grown from tissue culture. So once you open this bag, it's no longer sterile, contaminants can get into it, and so there's a whole process you go through that I'm going to show you where you acclimate this into the general population of your plants. And I didn't do anything for several days after I got this plant. I think it's actually been a week. I just put it into my greenhouse, let it acclimate to the temperature of my own environment, and now let's open her up. How much time do I have? Okay, my son's napping right now. He might wake up really soon, so I need to do this quickly. That's dirty. It's like a science project. Where's the plants? Where did I put it? Found it! Okay, so there's kind of a lot of stuff here, so I'm gonna explain all this. Korean kimchi making gloves to keep everything sterile and protect my hands because there are hormones in here. I'm sure it's not enough to affect my skin or anything, but just in case. 2 glass jars, 1 for soaking in the fungicide solution, 1 for rinsing in clean water. The neem oil will be the fungicide along with the Castile soap. These are the containers that I'm going to use to move the plant into. Tweezers to take it out, syringe to get the neem oil out, paper towels for cleanup. Feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? Moss! I'm using sphagnum moss to grow the roots in. Normally my go-to substrate is stratum, but I'm all out because I propagated like 1,000 corms recently. So this is what I'll use. Don't make fun of my scissors. This is all I could find. My daughters. Oh my god, I'm already sweating in these gloves. Look how pretty it is! So this gel stuff needs to be carefully removed and washed off. Oh no! Typical me to rip off a root. Won't be the last time. Also, screw the gloves. I need my bare hands to take off this gel.
Now to clean the roots, I'm making a fungicide out of Castile soap and neem oil.
Oh my god. Ugh, horrible. Awful, awful, awful. Oh, it smells so bad. I'm gonna soak it in here for 5 minutes. My son's awake. My time is limited. You gonna watch Amma? Okay.
After it's soaked in fungicide, it just goes into clean water.
Okay, I totally forgot. I need to take my son to his little gym class. This is not ideal because I'm not done. I'm gonna leave this in the greenhouse for the next hour. Actually, no, we're gonna be late to his gym class. I need to do this quickly.
No time to soak in clean water, I'm just gonna rinse everything off in the sink. And then I need to prepare the sphagnum moss by soaking it as well. Squeeze out the excess moisture from the moss, and then sprinkle in root crack onto the roots. If you have any sort of rooting hormone, you can use that. I didn't have any, so I'm just using some myco-inoculant that I'm just wrapping the roots in the moss and stuffing it in this cup.
What's that?
Don't spill it. Okay, this lid is obviously not going to fit over this. So I'm gonna put it under this cloche because it needs 100% humidity in the beginning. I've never been more stressed doing things so quickly before, so I'm gonna go to gym, which is super late, and then I'm gonna come back and check everything that I did to make sure I didn't miss a step. Let's go.
Let's go.
I feel so disheveled, but I figured out what I'm gonna do. You can already see the humidity inside the cloche. So the problem with this glass cloche is right now it's at 100% humidity, which is fine. That's what tissue cultures want. But you want to slowly, over the course of a month, lower the humidity until it's at the humidity that you want to permanently keep the plant in. Under this cloche, there's no gradual way to reduce the humidity because right now it's at 100%. If I take this off, it's just at room humidity. I decided I'm going to use these 2 cups to fix this problem. I'm going to move this whole setup into this bottom cup, and then I'm going to use the same size cup as the humidity dome and tape it up. And then every 2 weeks, I'm going to add in a hole with the soldering iron. So right now, there's going to be no holes. In 2 weeks, I'll add in 1 hole. 2 weeks after that, I'll add in another hole, and I'll keep doing that until it's living in the same humidity as the rest of this greenhouse. It's not the cutest setup, but it's an effective one. And it will be under a grow light for 12 hours a day inside this greenhouse. I keep a lot of my variegated Alocasia collection inside this cabinet, so it's in good company. I hope it makes it.
It looks like I am losing that older leaf, but it's okay because a new one's unfurled.
I have an update. So I was supposed to slowly acclimate this to my environment over the course of several weeks, but it's been a month and I haven't done that. But the growth is really good. Every single leaf is gorgeously variegated. But procrastination is the name of the game, and it's time I start lowering the humidity. Ignore all this junk on the side. This is a soldering iron, and I use this to make drainage holes in my plastic cups. I know it's not good to burn or melt plastic, but it's the easiest way that I found. Once this heats up, I'm just gonna make 1 hole, that's it, in the top. And then, like I said, every 2 weeks, I'm gonna add in an additional hole until this acclimates to the rest of my cabinet. P.S. My air filter is running on max right now so that I'm not breathing in these fumes. If you can do this outside, that's best. I am just gonna make 1 hole. And then back into the greenhouse it goes. And the humidity currently is I just opened it, but it was in the 70s. Now it's down to 69%. So I'm gonna make more holes every 2 weeks inside that cup. It's ready. Dragon scale is officially ready to graduate out of its cup into its permanent home. The variegation is so pretty on this. This does mean though I need to move this out of moss, which you all know I hate doing. This is a pretty small cup, so I don't want to move too much bigger in size. Look at the roots on that. So I'm actually going to be using dessert cups as a pot, and I'm going to make it self-watering. So how this is going to work is I'm going to use a soldering iron to make holes in this inner cup. This is going to have the reservoir of water and nutrient solution, and I'm going to put in a wick, and it's going to self-water inside this dessert cup. And then I have the wick that's gonna feed through 2 of these holes. So I'm actually gonna lift this wick up higher so it's like in the middle of all the soil substrate so that it'll sit nicely like this. Perfect. Okay, but first I need to remove this freaking moss. Actually, I kept it pretty moist, so it's actually not that bad. If your moss is dry, it's much more difficult to remove. And I know some people will ask me, like, why don't I just grow it in moss? And it's simply because I am very bad at moss upkeep. Moss needs to be always consistently moist. It just requires a lot more attention from me to make sure that it's moist, and I just don't want to do that. I just prefer to have things in soil where I'm watered about every 10 to 14 days in my environment. And it's just so much easier that way for me. Also, if you're wondering why my voice sounds like this, it's because I'm very sick. Oh no, I ripped off some good roots. Oh no. No, not good. These were all... Oh my gosh, I'm so sad. Okay, I need to be a lot more careful doing this now. So delicate. Root crack is a must. Water this in thoroughly. And that reservoir will keep that soil evenly moist for this.
Back in the greenhouse, and oh, looky here. If you can guess what this is, you might win it.